What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. So, lately I've been doing videos about the UK, okay? Because I feel so bad for them and the stuff that they're going through. Like, honestly, the UK people are being oppressed by their own government, okay? It's insane. Their country's being overrun by foreigners, and they are literally at the point right now where it's like a zombie apocalypse, just without the zombies. Okay, so I decided, instead of shitting on the UK and stuff today, and the UK government, not the people. I'm not shitting on the people. I'm shitting on their government and the shit that they go through, which is insane. I decided we're going to go ahead and watch a video about the UK and the US, see, how they compare and what makes them different, and then I was going to give my opinion on it. So, without further ado, let's get this going. Like I said, I'm watching UK versus US culture explained. I'm going to put my 2 cents into it because, I live in the United States. I was born and raised here. I love my country, and we're gonna compare them. So if you guys want the video we're watching, like I said, it's UK versus USA culture explained by Jimmy the Giant. If you can, go over to his channel, subscribe, like the video, and let's get into it.
Britain and America are like twins separated from birth. One was raised in fine aristocracy, and the other was abandoned at a gas station and told, good luck. These two great nations have dominated the world both economically, militarily, and culturally.
Everyone in Britain got in a big old boat, and we set sail, and we robbed, and this will sound far-fetched, everyone in the world.
Whilst having spawned from the same origins, they went off in their own two directions, becoming...
That is so true that he said that. Like, the UK Empire, the British Empire, for the longest time, was massive. There's still countries out there that have the UK flag on it, okay? Like Australia, Canada. I mean, you guys were like the Roman Empire. The UK Empire, the British Empire was like the Roman Empire. It was everywhere, far and wide. They were like part of the trail. They also had things with the Indian company. What is it? I'm drawing a blank right now. Trade company. It was the Indian Trade Company. But anyway, yeah, like, he's completely right about that. They just pillaged everything.
Both very similar and very different.
Yo, we all are great. We all should think that we're great. There's no reason for you to not think that you're great.
I've started to get this feeling that I'm totally fucked. You know, everything's fucked.
Today, we will analyse American versus British culture.
As you can hear by that guy's accent, he definitely sounds British. So I'm gonna correct him if he's wrong about the American culture.
Comic hero is a wisecracker who is above his material and who is above the idiots around him. You know that scene in Animal House where there's a fellow playing folk music on a guitar. John Belushi picks up the guitar and destroys it. And
Great movie.
Because he just
Great
smashes
movie.
it and then waggles his eyebrows at the camera. Everyone says, God, he's so great. Well, a British comedian would want to play the folk singer.
Very
Comedy
true.
is a great way of revealing a culture's ideas. So American comedy and British comedy, they're very different. American comedies
Absolutely.
always tend to be built around the idea of like optimism and positivity.
Be curious, not judgmental. I like that.
I don't know if I agree with that. Lately, well, now it's coming back into effect where Americans use dark humor, okay?
There's typically
Before, though, when we had a different administration, it wasn't dark humor, okay? You had to be very careful what you said. But now, I would say American comedy is really like grungy and dark, but don't get me wrong, there is some positive comedy, but like, yeah, it's definitely not up to par with British comedy.
always the motion that things can get better. You can see this in the character Leslie Knope in Parks and Rec.
I can do it. I can crush him. I promise.
And typically, in an American comedy, the cool guy is the main character.
So you know how to take the reservation, you just don't know how to hold the reservation.
Now, let's
See, the comedy he's showing right there, like, yeah, Parks and Recreation is pretty new, but, like, Seinfeld, that was, I mean, that's been on since, like, 90s. So it's like, yeah, that was a different type. Comedy in the U.S. tends to change almost with, like every 5 years. It's pretty interesting.
compare that to British comedies. Typically, the idea in a British comedy is that life will always disappoint you.
We need to have a talk.
You finishing with me?
We weren't ever really.
Oh.
I see you not around, but here.
See you.
Secondly, you'll never make it in life. All your dreams and hopes and optimism is ultimately futile.
I have this dream. You and I own this skyscraper office block on the South Bank. And above us, on top of the skyscraper, in 50-foot-high neon lettering, are the initials of Trotters, Independent Traders.
Just above your head is the word tip.
Another idea that is shown is that you can all
See, like, that to me isn't, like, that funny. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
always expect the worst thing to happen.
So, yeah. Right, thank you very much. Do you like it? Oh, so I put that on you.
Brilliant. Do you want another beer?
Was that my beer?
Yeah.
What?
Do you want me to get you?
Yes.
And finally, the main character, the point of focus in a British comedy will typically be some awkward loser.
I like your glasses.
I'm afraid they're not for sale. Laugh all you want, they're not for sale.
So this leads us to our first key cultural difference. And that is American idealism versus British realism.
Okay.
Instead of me telling you this, I'm going to show you it through expressions. Americans will say things like this. Well, you know what they say. The sky's the limits. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Whereas in Britain, we'll say things like, got hope for the best, but expect the worst, mate. We literally have a thing called sod's law. What can go wrong will go wrong. And then let's say you have a situation where something is looking good. You've got an opportunity.
Okay, I will say this. We have the same sayings here. I mean, you know, he kind of used a Southern, like, expression, but yeah, like, it's very multicultural in the U.S. Like, we still do use you know, what can go wrong will go wrong. I mean, that's Murphy's Law. You know what I mean? Like, but then we also do the whole thing where, like, you got to hope for the best, prepare for the worst. I mean, it's really not that different.
Americans will say, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Whereas we'll literally say, well, old boy, don't count your chickens before they hatch. And then finally,
we use the same saying too. I mean, don't count your chickens before they hatch, or don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know what I mean?
if you're in America and your whole life is going terribly, it's looking awful, Americans say, well, it's always darkest before dawn. In England, if everything's going well, we'll say, yeah, mate, but this is just the calm before the storm. So you might be wondering,
we, like I said, we use the same sayings. We also say the grass is greener on the other side. You know what I mean?
why? Why do we have these very distinct attitude differences?
In this video, I'm going to be using CDance 2.5's newest upgrade, being able to generate long...
Before we go any further with this video, cold turkey might be great on sandwiches, but there's a better way to break your bad habits. We're talking about today's video sponsor, Fume. When it comes to bad habits, not everything is inherently wrong. So instead of some drastic, uncomfortable change to your lifestyle, why don't you just remove the bad from your habit? Fume is an innovative and award-winning device.
It's not that great.
Instead of vapor, Fume is literally just flavored air. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses all natural delicious flavors. Each Fume comes with an adjustable airflow dial. The flavors are honestly delicious. You have orange vanilla, you then have a raspberry lemon, and then you got sparkling grapefruit. I'll be honest, I really like the product. It really feels great, the quality is amazing, it looks cool. Fume has served over 100,000 happy customers and has had thousands of success stories, and there's no reason that couldn't be you too. So join Fume today by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head to tryfume.com/Jimmy the Giant or scan the QR code and use the code Jimmy the Giant to get 10% off when you get your Journey Pack today. Anyway,
get your money, Jimmy. Get your money. I'll be honest with you, I use Fume. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it's Yeah, I didn't think it was that great. Great movie.
Now stand
It's just a flesh wound.
Tis but a scratch.
A lot of the British attitude can really be pointed to our very long and brutal history. We've had tons of wars and plagues and religious upheavals. All of these things have kind of led to British people sort of having doubt and distrust into the future. Like, yeah, it might be going well now, but tomorrow a swarm of Belgians might come over and behead us.
Huh. Check that out. A swarm of Belgians. It's not Belgians, my friends. It's Middle Eastern people, okay? You guys need to fix that. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to leave it at that. Trying to make this a positive video. You guys are being overrun. Fix it. That nice cut.
Understanding our history gives us this cautiousness to being too optimistic about the future. As well, you have to combine the religious attitudes of the Church of England. The Church of England was very much a believer in the idea of original sin. The idea that humans have fallen from God, we're all inherently bad, although we do have the ability to be somewhat redeemed. This has engineered a sort of attitude of cautious optimism. We're not entirely 100% pessimists. All of this combined with the fact that our weather is pretty shit.
Trash.
Rain,
Trash.
rain. Us Brits endure it on 199 days of every year.
That is insane. I don't understand how British, well, UK, I don't understand how you guys can do that. Like here, when it rains just for a couple days, I hate it, okay? But like the US is such a big country to where it really depends where you live. I mean, down south, yeah, it could be raining where I'm at, and then 5 feet away, it's bone dry. Like, it just storms randomly. But, like, another thing I will say about the UK is with the religion thing. Yes, I'm a religious man as myself. I mean, same thing goes here. Religion is a huge thing, but once again, it's multiculturalism, and like, there's so many different religions here that like we're a new country, we're a new thing. We were built on, well, I mean, this country was built by, migrants, but we formed a country that we all could relate to, and now that's why I think we have that just melting pot of just different things. So
you could literally have a week of sunshine in England and think, you know what, this Saturday, let's go for a picnic with the family. And then because your dad showed some optimism in the weather, God will smite you with a torrential downpour for the next month.
Oh my goodness.
So this general attitude can be completely contrasted with American optimism. And that stems from, ultimately, if you're the type of person to leave Britain, a established nation that has infrastructure, etc., hop on a boat, travel for weeks, months across uncharted waters to arrive on uncharted lands, to do that, you need at least an ounce of optimism.
Yeah.
Rookwater, lands in the distance, see? Mate, you've been saying that for the last 3 fucking icebergs. Oh, look, can you see it? Another fucking iceberg. I'm tired of this. And then, so after discovering this new land, which was a crazy thing to go and do, America then went through 2 great awakenings. I don't know what happened in the first one, if they just hit snooze or something, but the first great awakening was in 1730 to 1740, and then the second one in 1795 all the way up to 1835. So what happened in this was that the religious attitudes of America had evolved. New ideas around like self-improvement, the idea that everyone has the ability to shape their own destiny and their own future. Humans can be better, they can improve society, they can make and create things that make the world better.
Everybody, I know you can believe in yourself.
They had strong conviction.
So I think the reason things did change is because in the U.S. we didn't want to live under a monarch no more. We didn't want a king anymore. Our first president, George Washington, people told him he could be king, and he said, "No, I don't want to be king." I mean, and that's what makes our country so great is, we have a system where every 4 to 8 years, depending if they're reelected, like when a president is elected, he serves 4 years unless something happens or he's impeached, but then that's why we have that step down system where like the president, if something happens, then the vice president, and then it comes down and down and down and down. And we didn't want to live under a ruler. And, during the Revolutionary War and stuff, that's what was happening is you had the King of England telling us that we had to pay taxes. We're thousands of miles away. Like, it's not like he was going to send money over here to help us out. Like, the king wanted it, and we were like, no. Like, you can't just... That's like me making a pie and my neighbor coming over and being like, "Hey, I want a piece of that." It's like, no, you didn't make this, okay? Like, I made this. This is mine. You know what I mean?
Around the importance of working hard, as well as very pragmatic attitudes, the idea that things should be done well and efficiently. These last two led to a very strong cultural focus on capitalism and efficiency in business, which all of this manifested itself in the idea of the American dream.
Absolutely.
The American dream is just the ability to achieve. Anybody can do it, but you're not just gonna get it because you want it. You gotta be willing to work hard. You gotta apply a lot of hard work. You gotta apply faith. You gotta apply persistence. You've gotta never, ever give up.
So basically, the idea of the American dream is that any old piece of shit, old Bob who still lives at home with his parents, 40 years old, anyone can go and do anything they want to in life.
That Americans are told they can become the next president of the United States. And they can. British people are told it won't happen to you. And they carry that. They carry that with them.
And I know what's probably going through your head. You might hear that and think, fucking hell, why are Britons so pessimistic? I mean, we literally had the biggest empire on earth. Why are we so deflated? And so that leads us to a very core cultural difference between England and America, and that is class structure.
I was brought up in a poor family, Really, we had nothing, really. If I could get in a position that some of them people in, I would like to be in it. These lords or ladies or peers, or you're talking about them class of people.
The Curzon's family started with William the Conqueror.
In Britain, the idea of class and where you stand socially has been a very core part of our identity. Until very recently, as a Brit, your whole life was decided before you were born. These differences between the upper class and the working class has existed through most of British history. There's like this idea that the upper class are pure blood. They were like chosen by God. They had divine rights. They literally referred to themselves as blue-blooded. And they were...
And see, and that's what happens. Like, now we go back to how the U.S. was structured, like, coming up. Like, yeah, when everybody came over here, they weren't rich. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure, there might have been some people that had money, but it's like, we didn't want that. The people that did come over, they were like, hey, you know what? Like, I can be something. And in the U.S., you can be something. There's a thing, you just gotta have faith. You got to have strong will, and you got to want to do it. Like, you can say anything you want to say, but doing is what you have to do. Okay. And, my father taught me a saying a long time ago. He said, growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. And that seems to be the problem nowadays is everybody's always going to grow old, but no one wants to grow up. Like, you have a bunch of 45-year-olds, 50-year-olds now that still act like they're in their 20s. And it's like, nowadays it's bad, but back then, like, you didn't have it. Like, you had structured families where, like, a father would work the fields. A mother was a stay-at-home mother that took care of the children. If there was a son and a daughter would go through a different type of lifestyle than the son. The son was expected to get up with the father. He was expected to do farm work. I mean, sometimes the daughter too, she would do it as well. I mean, she would go get the eggs out of the chicken hen. I mean, but that's how it was brought up on like a family basis type thing where like it was a very structured family. And what he said about like the whole like different classes in the UK, I believe it, because anytime I've ever talked to anybody from the UK, they've always told, I asked them, I said, what's it like living under a king? And they say, oh, well, we still have like a prime minister and stuff like that. It's kind of like the same system you have. I was like, yeah, but you guys still have a king and a queen. And at that time it was the queen last time I spoke to her, but yeah, she said like there's still the Queen of England. And I was just like, isn't like, how does that make you feel knowing that like there's this special bloodline that like these people, they believe that their bloodline is better than yours? I mean, in the U.S., yeah, anybody can be president. You just have to be a citizen. You have to be over a certain age, and I mean, that's just how it is. Like, your dream is achievable here. Like in England or the UK, like from what she told me, she said, you know, you can have the dream of being a king, but the probability of that happening is next to zero. You know what I mean? Like unless you grow up and marry into the family, like the I guess I think his name's Prince Andrew, his wife or whatever. Like she's a princess, I mean, or something. But like that's the difference. Is like, but there are classes of people here as well. Like yeah, we do have the people that live in low income housing, and then you have your low income class. I guess you could say you have your middle class, lower class, and then your upper class. But you know, there's nothing saying that the lower class can't be upper class. So it's unique.
Much better than the grunts working the coal mines to power their beautiful machinery.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. First, go to Riverside and open an account. When you're ready to...
In England of like judgment between the classes. The upper class and the working class hate each other. And class is interesting because it's not just defined by wealth.
We give dinner parties 2 or 3 times a week. This enables us to keep in touch with our wide circle of friends.
We give a wine and cheese do once a month. This enables us to do it on the cheap.
Her mother comes round Saturday nights and drinks my Guinness. This enables her to get drunk for nothing.
Class is much deeper than simply wealth. It's the accent you talk in, the way you behave, the schools that you're educated in. If you're from Cambridge School of Witchcraft and Wizardry versus the community college in Shittham, literally everything you did would be defined by class.
I think working class people in general feel this kind of thing weighing down upon them, and I can't put it into words of what it is, but I think people watching this will understand that you feel it pushing you down all the time.
And so there's this understanding that there isn't much class mobility. If you are lower class, even if you got wealthy, you could never be upper class. There's no way. And so this kind of demoralization spawned a attitude in British people that things can't really get that much better. I'm always going to be judged from basically the background that I'm from. In America, as I explained with...
And see, that's the shame with that culture over there, because like I said, it's not over here. Like, you could be anything you want to be. You just have to put your mind to it. And one thing that separates the U.S. from the U.K. is like the founding fathers of our country made sure that we would never live like that again, especially when it came to like, you know, a monarch, a king trying to rule from thousands of miles away. Like, we have the Second Amendment, we have the First Amendment, we have so many amendments saying that we can do as a person, like, we can do whatever we want, and we have that right to do whatever we want. Okay.
The American dream, the attitude is that anyone can be anything.
There you go.
Americans love the idea of the rags to riches story, the underdog archetype that you see in films like Pursuit of Happiness or The
And that's because, think about our history. We went from rags to riches. We started off as the 13 original colonies, and now we are the United States. We have 50 different states. So it's like, that's kind of one of those things where I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud to know that, you know, I could be anything I want to in life. And same with my son. My son, it doesn't matter if he grew up in a rough area or whatever, which I'm not saying we live in a rough area. I mean, we live in a great area. But he could be anything he wants to in life. And that's, I'm happy that he can. Like, I'm sure in the UK it would be different. So
class does exist in America, but it is very different. You're probably going to see more things between North and South divides and racial divides. But I do, as a British person, quickly want to make a caveat. British people have never had like outright defeatism. British people will try in life. They'll try very hard, but we just don't like to get our hopes up. We are optimistic, but just in a very cautious way. Like, Americans might aspire to be a millionaire CEO of a big tech startup, whilst British people will aspire to one day shop at Waitrose.
My wife likes to shop.
And see, that comes back down to, hey, you guys, in the UK, you guys can aspire to be something better, but you guys need to do something about your government, okay? Your government is what is holding you guys down. Right now, you guys are at the bottom of the barrel trying to claw your way up. The government's the barrel, though. I mean, they have you surrounded in all ways. I mean, you guys can't have guns. You guys can't, there's knife problems. The women can't carry mace or tasers. I mean, you guys can't even say anything wrong online anymore. You have a chance to go to jail. Like, we have that freedom of speech here. And that's why the only thing that's going to change, the only way to change anything is by all the people standing up. There's strength in numbers. And trust me, like, the thing that's going to change the UK is by getting rid of the monarch. And also getting rid of the government that tells you guys can't be anything more than what you are now. So
Waitrose, it's the middle class option. People who shop at Waitrose, they like to drop it into conversations. You know. Sorry I'm late, I was just at Waitrose, just so everybody knows.
So the explanation on the class system leads us to another point, which is politeness and expressiveness.
Yeah, that's different.
Here's your food, good sir. What the fuck is that? Everything okay with the food? Oh yes, lovely, thank you. I would say British people are kind of overly aware of being rude and impolite, which has some benefits. You know, we treat people really well. We hate to be awkward and we like people to feel relaxed. But it can cause British people to take way too much shit and not stand up for themselves.
There you go. Sorry for all the commercials, guys. You know, I don't have YouTube Premium. I'm not that special. That's why I'm trying to make it as a YouTuber, so I can have stuff like that. So please like and subscribe. Leave a comment, you know. Let me know what you guys think. Turn the other cheek.
What the f***? I slap you and you want me to hit you on the other cheek?
Americans will tolerate less bullshit, which is a good thing, but then sometimes they can be a bit rude and a bit overly confrontational. I have waited exactly 5 minutes. It is a Big Mac. How long do you need? This difference when it comes to being polite probably stems from the British Reserve and American individualism. British people are very reserved. Typically, in public, we all sit like this, and we're all very quiet, and we don't laugh too loud, and we try and be really polite. And this can stem from the Victorian era. There was very strict social rules over behavior, dress, the way you express yourself. It was very stern and rigid. The reason we tolerate so much shit is because we have the religious idea of turning the other cheek. As well, our probably over-awareness of people's personal space and being rude can probably stem from the fact that we live on a small island very closely together. We don't have a lot of space and we're all on top of each other. Yeah. So we have a strong respect for people's personal space.
Okay.
And then, like, some of it is the fact that the upper class social attitudes probably trickled down to the working class, where it's always seen as being a lower class thing to speak loudly and have bad manners and be overly confrontational.
Can you come back in, please?
Oh my God, this is well harassment. I'm going to take this to the Court of European Rights.
And so, British people have the attitude of a stiff upper lip, don't show emotion, and don't complain about your problems.
Damn.
Well, that was fucking scary.
Whereas Americans, that is not the case.
All right, what country are we in? In the United States. You're goddamn right. You can't take a picture here. Okay, First Amendment. Get back over there.
I have a right to speak. I have a right to speak.
Deal with that.
This is my right as much as it is yours. This is my land as much as it is yours.
To Americans, I am important. I am the center of the universe. After the Great Awakening, there was...
Okay, listen, I wouldn't say all that. Yes, we do speak out when we are confronted because, you know, we're raised, especially the men, we're raised on one rule. A man has two things, his word and his balls. Without one of them, you don't mean shit. So you got to have both of them, okay? So, yes. In the UK, you guys are a little bit more I wouldn't say it's not snobby, but you guys keep yourself in line. And, you know, I think that's where the problem is, though. You guys, like, believe that you have to stay in a structure. Okay? But, like, if you live in the US, no, like, it's everybody's equal. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire and I have 10 cents in my pocket. We're both equal people in this country. You just have a little bit more money than me, a lot more money than me. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, we're gonna voice our opinions, okay?
There's a strong focus on individualism. Emotionality and expression is a good thing. Being outgoing and extroverted is a very American thing. British people are very introverted. Americans, after things like the Bill of Rights, have a strong focus on their personal rights and freedoms and liberty.
Exactly.
In America, all men are created equal. And so they don't have this idea that you're better than me or I'm better than you by birthright. We're all humans, we all exist, and we all deserve respect. And so this leads to politics.
You treat people the way you want to be treated.
Toward authority.
This is an illegal detention at this point. You better get your shit straight. Oh, I will file a complaint. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Like right as soon as we leave here.
Am I not human to you, huh?
Americans are inherently very skeptical of authority. They believe more so in small government and self-autonomy due to the British ruling America and, you know, being a bit naughty, a bit rough around the edges. As well, Americans are very rebellious. The formation of America was around escaping the Church of England. In Britain, on the other hand, it is different. We do have a trust in our government. It is waning currently, but typically we trust in social order and we don't really make too much of a big deal about infringement of our rights. And that's probably because of...
And that's the problem now, is you guys trust too much in your government thinking they're going to do the right thing by you, but you have to remember, like, they don't care about you, okay? Like, your government is set up to where, like, the next successor is going to be someone that the original person picked. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you guys might have the voting thing, you guys might trust your government, but look what they're doing to you now. Like, they're screwing you guys over, and it is a shame. You guys should have a Bill of Rights, and you guys should feel like you are equal to the king and the queen and whoever. Like, they're no better than you. They bleed the same color blood. I mean, they sleep just like you do. They use the bathroom just like you do. They are people just like you. The only difference is in their mind, they feel like they are better than you. And you guys make them feel like they're better than you. And you guys shouldn't, because they're not better than you. They are people just like you. Everybody is equal. Okay? Let me tell you something about your monarchs. Your monarchs, when they die, guess what they take with them? Nothing. When we die, what do we take with us? Nothing. Everything they have is materialistic. So what makes them different than you? Besides, they just have a lot more money than you. Think about it.
Of years of unquestioned power by monarchs. And again, the stoicism and the idea of stiff upper lip, not complaining too much, not making a big deal. It kind of has led to this polite, submissive behavior, which sometimes is a bit embarrassing.
Careful, sir, it's hot. Oh, sorry. Might burn yourself. Yeah, sorry. Would you like some salt and pepper? Oh, yeah, sorry.
Like, you can kind of picture the movie scene of a British person, an American person dealing with authority. Excuse me, sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Listen here, tough guy. You don't talk to me like that.
It's not like that.
Excuse me, sir. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Oh, yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, that's fine. We'll leave, for sure.
But darling, you're dead on the restaurant.
Yes, but I don't want to be rude. And so with all this, you can extrapolate these attitudes and understand different attitudes towards certain issues. You know, for instance, guns. Americans see guns as like a right to protect themselves from government and other people. America's fast food and subsequent obesity problem has stemmed from the ideas of efficiency in business, not wanting to waste time on food, taking too long to cook. And then you have things like healthcare and welfare. Like in Britain, we have a pretty strong healthcare system. Let's not get into that. Whereas Americans are far more reserved on bringing anything into public domain, especially healthcare. Britain has an obsession with tradition and upholding tradition, whereas America have a strong focus on new and innovation, new products, technology.
I just want to ask the UK people, he just said, let's listen to what he just said, okay? And you guys really need to think about this.
Let's not get into that. Whereas Americans are far more reserved on bringing anything into public domain, especially healthcare. Britain has an obsession with tradition and upholding tradition, whereas
Britain has an obsession with tradition and upholding tradition. If you go back in history and look at the tradition that your monarchs treated the people, like They expected you to pay taxes. They made you live in poverty. They treated you like shit. I mean, sure, there might have been a few good years here and there, but like all you read about in history is just terrible things. Wars that just kept going on and on and on. Like yeah, they're in tradition. The tradition that they see is, Zeus, get over here, lay down. The tradition in their eyes is, we're number one. We're on the pedestal at the top. Everybody else is below us. That's not a tradition that should be respected. I mean, if anything, it should be, we're people, and you guys are people as well. There's strength in numbers. If we help each other out, things will be better. But they don't look at it that way. And I really think that you guys should really look at. Yes, don't get me wrong. I love seeing the tradition things. It's because it reminds me of like, wow, like this is history. Like they're continuing the history, and that's what history should be retold. That way we don't relive it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, that's the problem is you guys are reliving that history of, oh, these kings and queens are better than us, and it's a flawed history.
America have a strong focus on new and innovation, new products, technology.
By making the screen taller but not wider, you can see more of your content without the need to scroll. We're making scrolling a thing of the past.
And so look, I've picked apart British people and American people. I've made jokes, I've pointed out some bad things, but I want to say, and I think this is true, Americans and British people have a very deep mutual respect for each other. I think very much these days, ever since the war, we've had what has been dubbed a special relationship. I don't know if that's a gay thing or something, but whatever. As a Brit, I can say honestly, I really do love Americans. I love being around Americans. I really admire their confidence. They're so easy to talk to. They're very warm, open demeanors. British people can be very reserved at times.
Excuse me, young man, is anyone sitting here?
No.
Would you mind if we sat here?
No, it's fine.
I'm Ronald. This is Pammy. Actually, you forgot to tell us your name.
Peter.
Peter!
It can be pretty depressing talking with British people about the future and your ambitions. Whereas Americans are all patting you on the back saying, yeah, you can do it, bro. And I think Americans do appreciate British people as well. They probably appreciate our realism. We don't really bullshit ourselves. We're very honest. We know our strengths, but we also know our flaws. Often Americans see us as well-spoken and intelligent, and you can actually see our comedy has massively influenced modern American comedy. There's a lot more awkward, dry humor in American television now than there ever was in the past.
Yeah,
and obviously,
true.
Americans fucking love our traditions. Arguably more than us.
We do.
And it leads me to a final thought, and that is about cultural homogenization. With the internet, culture across the world has sort of melted together. We're all seeing the same media constantly. I will listen to endless American podcasters telling me to go after my dreams and fix my life or something. The idea that the internet is bringing lots of different value systems together and you can kind of choose which one suits you, as opposed just the one that dominates your country. But I do wonder, are we going to see less of these interesting differences, and are we just going to become a sort of best of greatest album kind of thing? Let me know in the comments. If you want to see more on this topic, check out the Afters podcast where we talk more about this. Like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.
So, I think the video was great. I respect everything he said, and like I said, we love the fact that the UK shows culture and they do all this, that, and the other. But at the same time, like, we also feel that, just because you guys live across the pond doesn't mean you guys aren't our brothers and sisters, and we know that like your government is holding you down, and we like the people here know that you guys would do so much better if you guys lived under the same type of laws that we lived. I mean, it's like I said, it's really something that only the UK people can do. Like the only way they can change is by everybody standing up, banding together, no matter what class you believe you're in. I mean, you guys need to stand together, work together to create change. And the only way you're going to do that is by, going hand in hand and taking it to the man, essentially, is what the phrase that we say is. Like, you got to stick it to the man. And right now it's just, your country is being overrun. I mean, he said it, like, you guys believe you're stuck in this system, and you don't have to be stuck. You're only stuck if you believe that's all that you can achieve. We just had the soccer in the UK. It's football, but we just had the soccer over here, and a bunch of people from the UK came over, and there's videos all online of them returning home and saying they just don't feel like they're depressed. They don't feel happy anymore because they've realized, like, wow, it's a whole new world over in the US, and it is. And I wish the people in the UK could live the same life that we live, because it's more freedom. You feel free. Okay, yes, I'm sure there's great things about the UK that are better than the US, but it's just like right now, if you guys had that freedom that we have, your country would be it'd be doing so much greater. So, like I said, though, I love the video. Let me know what you guys think, and please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get this channel going, and yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Maybe I'll do a few more of these. Maybe we'll compare other countries, such as like I want to do another UK one because I want to touch on other things such as products and everything. But it blows my mind the price that the UK people pay for TVs. That is insane. I wish I can set something up to where people reached out to me and said, hey, buy a TV and ship it to me. It would probably be cheaper for me to do that. Like, it is insane the price that you guys pay for TVs. But like and subscribe, leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, and let me know what you guys think, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.